No puedes jugar boxeo es presentado por SEYER, la marca que desde 1930 viste los puños de los campeones. Por The Aquino Destinations, destinos de ensueño.
Hey, what's up, guys? It feels great to be back at home. It's really hot, but that's just what I'm used to. It feels great. I'm just ready to fight. You know, it's been like a year. It sucks that a lot of things happened within that year, and it's taken a full year to come back around. But hopefully, after this fight, everything's back in schedule. Well, first off, I did see his fight, and what I saw was two southpaws that kind of had the same styles. It's a bit of a clash of styles. So not only is the opponent that he fought on that day a complete different style of mine, it's just there's really nothing that I could take away from that fight because he didn't fight someone that fought like me. You know, that was a different version of him fighting someone else. So there's really not a whole lot for me to go off of, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And as far as the camp, I mean, camp went great. You know, we basically did the same thing from the last camp to this camp as far as like tactics and all that stuff. So basically we were supposed to fight in January, so I was getting ready before that, and we were in basically full camp mode like right before that. And you know, when I train, I'm like 110%. My body was going like just training as hard as I can possibly train. And we didn't fight in January, we fight in March. And I think with just all those months just back to back with like non-stop training, I had like 3 days off after we came back from California in December the first time. My body just couldn't take it anymore by the time we got to March. So I mean, this time we had no fall throughs with the schedule this time. My body feels great and we're ready to go.
You know, for me as the promoter slash matchmaker, it's beautiful to watch a young kid like him develop into a world-class fighter. That's the part of the job that I enjoy, just watching the progression. Obviously, it was obvious when I saw him as an amateur. You know, he had a lot of power. He was knocking guys out in the amateur ranks with the bigger gloves. But now he's become so much more of a complete fighter, works off the jab well, the body shots, setting up the punches, the counter punches. He's a complete fighter. And he probably, if we didn't have the layoff, he probably would have been fighting for a title now. But obviously, we had the layoff, a little bit of a setback. He's 100% now. I was able to go see him at the gym last week. I was very impressed with the combinations he was throwing, what he was working on. Look, Michael McKinson's a world-class fighter as well. This is going to be a very tough fight. It's not an easy fight for him. It's a different style. He hasn't faced a style like this in a while, but it's part of it. You know, if you're going to get to that promised land, if you're going to get to a world title fight and have a chance to win, you have to fight the top fighters in the world. And that's what you have here. Two top, highly rated fighters fighting each other, both undefeated, both young, both hungry. This is what it's all about. This is what makes our job fun, being able to see these type of fights.
Over in the UK, I'm known as a tricky southpaw. I don't think I get enough credit as I'm a very smart southpaw. I'm actually a right-handed lefty. People don't really know that. You don't get to 22-0 winning 4 international type titles along the way for not being a good fighter. I believe I'm a very good fighter, but haven't had the opportunity to prove that I'm world class. Along the way, I've never had the luxury of picking and choosing who I get to fight next, etc. I've had to take risks from early on and be the B-side from early on to get to where I am, to get to the opportunities and take the opportunities to get to where I am right now, you know. So I believe that my rise has been a lot sweeter than most others. Somebody tweeted this week actually that on my second professional fight, I fought at a cricket ground in Northern Ireland in front of 500 people. I think it held 500 people. And compare that to Vergil's second fight, he fought on a Canelo undercard, you know. So my rise has been from the very bottom to get where I am. But what people don't realise is I'm here in merit of everything that's happened along the way. I deserve my opportunity to fight Ortíz, and I've earned it the hard way. So I'm excited to be in Texas. I'm excited to show more to my ability than I've been able to show in my previous fights, because in my previous fights I've coasted points wins against good fighters, but I've not been in any trouble. I've not had to dig deep. I've not had to go somewhere that I've never been before, and I know I'm gonna have to in this fight. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited for Saturday and I can't wait.
Okay, thank you. And now let me go with Vergil. Vergil, it's always a pleasure to talk with you. It's been like a year, right? How's the feeling to return after 1 year, of course, in your hometown? How is the feeling? Because maybe a fighter like you, it feels like desperate to return to the ring. How was the feeling now, days before?
Yeah, it feels great. First of all, how are you doing yourself? It's been a long time. It's been great. I forgot the question already. I'm over here skipping shit. What you say?
No.
How does it feel?
You are
okay. No, I remember.
Really active fighter. You are a really active fighter, and it's been a year. So how is the feeling? You feel desperate at some point that you can fight?
I wouldn't say desperate. I mean, fortunately, time is on my side. I'm only 24 years old. At the same time, I don't want to be wasting time. You know, I should have fought 3 or 4 times already by this time since August, and that's time we won't get back. But I try my best to remain optimistic about any scenario, no matter how negative it is. But yeah, I feel very happy. I'm very excited to be back in the ring, and I'm just ready to put on a great show for.
Sí, obviamente no tan silencio porque ya mucha gente ya lo está conociendo. Pero sí, es que está joven. Lo que le falta a Vergil es la experiencia. Y obviamente peleando estas peleas con los mejores del mundo, clasificados, así es como va a ganarse esa experiencia. Pero él está listo para quien sea. Después de esta pelea, primero Dios, todo salga bien. Él va a estar listo para pelear con los grandes nombres, con Crawford, con Spence, con quien sea. Es lo que ha querido él. Él siempre ha querido los mejores, y para nosotros es un placer trabajar con un muchacho así tan disciplinado, que quiere lo mejor para él.
I mean, I don't know too much. I know where he's from. I get a lot of people on Twitter and Instagram saying that he's going to beat me. I'm familiar with Portsmouth, I believe it's called. I know it pretty much now. I mean, there's not a whole lot to go off of. I don't know anything obviously about his interests or his personal life or nothing about that. I do know he's 22-0, 2 knockouts. You know what? I mean, here's how I see it as if you don't have a whole lot of power and you have 2 knockouts, I would say it's almost impressive to have an undefeated record, because you have to make it up somehow, right? And I mean, he has had knockdowns his last few fights, so I'm very aware of that as well. So it's not like I'm going to go in there expecting an easy fight, and I bet you a lot of people think I'm expecting an easy fight, but I'm treating this fight as if it's my world title fight. But I mean, other than that, that's pretty much it as far as I know about him.
A lot of momentum. I think it would be 51 weeks he would have been out of the ring. So what I'm saying is he snatched all that momentum away from him. He needs to build that momentum again. You know, for a young guy with that much momentum and that much hype, to rebuild that will be hard. Pick one thing out. I've got something different than everyone he's fought. He's not fought anybody undefeated. So he's not been in the ring with anybody like with anybody that's never tasted defeat. I've never tasted defeat. I don't know what it's like to lose. No, I'm a very proud Englishman coming to the other side of the world, coming to the lion's den in an attempt to tame the lion, tame the young lion. He's not put a foot wrong. He's looked vulnerable in certain fights, but he's not put a foot wrong, and he's a great young fighter. But I have a different style than most people, a style that can expose most things in certain fighters. So I know I've got a hard fight ahead of me. I've got a big task ahead of me, but I know that I'm very mentally capable of pulling it off. It was a very clash of styles. That week for me was hard. So I found out the Tuesday, and the Tuesday to the Thursday evening, I said yes to 7 different names. 7 different names. I said yes. Every single one of them, I said yes, just keep me on the show. Keep me on the show. I want my US debut. I've prepared for 4 months, no matter who it is. Now, out of them 7 guys, Alex Martin was probably the least that I wanted to fight. You know, he was a slick fighter. He was a southpaw, but you know, he was quite negative. He was quite negative, and it was a boring fight. I was prepared to fight somebody the complete opposite for nearly 4 months. I think I found out the November because we was originally fighting in January, so it was a long time. And like even my last 3 fights, I'm a very clever, tactical, awkward fighter, but my last 3 fights have been Alex Martin, who's a negative southpaw, and it was a clash of styles. Before that, I fought the Polish guy who, after 1 round, he was in a shell for 10 rounds. So I had to try and before that was I fought a guy over in, it was in Gibraltar called Chris Congo, I was the B-side, he was favoured, and I was on the front foot, and I was the one making things happen for the whole fight. And people that know me, I'm better when there's somebody coming to take my head off. You know, I get excited about being in that danger zone, but I haven't been able to do it in a long time. I haven't been able to do it as I've been going up levels. So yeah, people really haven't seen half of what I can do, I believe. You know, so yeah, I'm excited for Saturday night.
A year is 3. I would like to always get 4. If we can shoot for 5, I don't know if that's possible, but I'm more than willing to do it. You know, I just want to get some rounds and I would get this experience. And boxing career is probably the shortest career of any sport. So I want to make sure that I put in as much work as I can. They might have misquoted me. I said that I wasn't going to move up until I get a world title.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is if that world title doesn't come, like, obviously you want that world title as soon as possible. So, or is there no timeline? You're not moving until the world title shot comes.
I'm not moving. No,
not at all. Not at all. There's always a way. In fact, with the Charlo fight, there was never a deal done. We had preliminary talks, and it was very apparent from the beginning that we weren't going to be able to get it done in a timely fashion. We've continued talks. Everything's going smoothly. We'll see. We're always going to try to get our fighters the best fights possible. We're always willing to bend. We're always willing to work things out. And that's our position. You know, there's always a way. There's always a solution for any problem. And that's how we've been successful in the past, making big fights.
Undefeated fighters are hungry. They're hungry. They're proud. They're hungry people. And, you know, not only have I taken undefeated records before, I've taken undefeated records in their backyard. But the Ryan Martin, I think that you know, is a different Ryan Martin to the one I fought. There's a US Ryan Martin. There's a UK Ryan Martin. The UK one that I beat is not as good. but yeah, I've taken undefeated fighters' records in their own backyard, and I've gone into hostility to do it. And you know, like, I know this is on a bigger scale, coming to Texas, fighting Vergil Ortíz in his backyard. So it's going to be hostile. but I'm built for this. I'm built different. Like if people looked into my rise and my record, from early on, I've taken gambles to go to people's backyards and define the odds and come out victorious, fight these young, hungry fighters at a lower level, granted. But now I'll get to do it. Probably the young fighter that's tipped for superstardom in Vergil Ortíz. He's a great young fighter. The whole world's watching him right now. So yeah, I'm excited to come and fight him in his backyard.
If I start talking outside of the ring, you're gonna tell right away that's not the kind of person I am. So I'm not gonna sit here and try to fake it and be someone that I'm not. That's just that I'm not good at doing that. I mean, I can do it if I want to, but it's gonna be pretty obvious that that's not the kind of person I am. So I'm just gonna stick to letting my fists doing the talking and let my skills pay the bills. I guess that's cheesy as hell, but yeah, that's pretty much my answer.
Keep him off of them. So how you gonna be able to keep him off of you on Saturday night?
I've fought bigger, stronger, big punchers, sparred big punchers. I've been in the ring with big guys my whole life, and I don't believe the reason I've got 2 knockouts, it's not that I can't punch. It's because it's been so easy outpointing these guys, and I say it's been easy, but I've been comfortable. As I've stepped up levels, I've been comfortable. You can look back at 22 fights, and if you can find a fight where I've looked vulnerable and I look uncomfortable and I've had to dig deep, then please show me. So I've not been in a fight where I've had to dig deep. I believe Vergil will 100% take me to places I've never been before. And that's when I get to, people know I've got a good boxing brain. Now it's time to show people I've got a big boxing heart. I don't believe my knockouts lack of knockouts has affected my rise, so it shouldn't affect me being at the world-class level.
You think you're gonna have to take some chances on Saturday to beat him in his backyard and shock the world?
Of course. I can't just come over and nick a win. I'm fighting Vergil Ortíz in his backyard. I have to make sure I win clear. I have to make sure I take chances. I have to take advantage of every opportunity possible. So yeah, we know, and we're well prepared.
Yeah, I always get questions like, all right, after this fight, not looking past. I'm like, well, just you asking me that question is already looking past the opponent. You know, it doesn't matter what you say before that question. It's just like, dude, let's focus on this fight. Ask me questions about this fight. And what do you, there's like 2 names you can ask me after this fight. You know, you got Spencer Crawford. You know, well, what am I gonna say? They're tied up right now. When am I gonna fight them? I don't know. Who do I think is gonna win? I don't know. There's a lot of I don't knows I can tell you about those questions, and you're just not gonna get anything different because 100 other people have asked me that same question. There's been a lot of people doubting me, and I feel like that's really stupid of them, because if there's one thing that I'm good at doing, and it's probably the only thing I'm good at doing, is boxing. And I don't know, it's just I wouldn't say it's how do I say it? What was the word? It's not like it bothers me, but it does bother me that people are doubting me, and I'm just gonna have to show them, I guess. I mean, what else can I do? I don't talk. I'm not gonna sit out here and talk every heckler on Twitter and Instagram. I'm just gonna do what I do best, and that's box. Yeah, southpaws are literally the mirror image of right-handers. So naturally, we are farther. We are a lot farther compared to fighting someone that stands the same way as you. I mean, really, it's the same, but it's not. There's a lot of pros and cons to being a southpaw or orthodox fighter. I mean, really, it's just a lot of things that go without saying, you know. Well, you see, for me, when I say I'm good at something, it means I can make a living off of it. I can't make a living off of guitar. I mean, I'm okay at it. I do it as a hobby, but I couldn't do that. But I was playing John Mayer right now, if that's what you were asking.
A victory changes my life, my daughter's life, people around me's life, even my city of Portsmouth, as Vergil knows my city of Portsmouth now. A victory changes everything for me. I've never been given anything. Anything's never been handed to me on a plate. I've had to go out and earn it the hard way. So yeah, the fight's huge. Like, me getting the opportunity is huge, but a victory changes my life. And so yeah, that's how important it is to me.
I mean, obviously everyone wants to do as good as possible as they can in their fights, and that's usually with the knockout. But as far as being concerned about keeping it alive, I'm not gonna lie, I really don't care. It's a good thing, and I'm grateful for having it. I'm kind of known for that, and I mean, it's like it's a blessing and a curse at the same time, because it's a blessing. People are like, oh, let's watch him, he's won all his fights by knockout. But at the same time, it's just like a lot of people now only see me as some reckless punching machine that only goes in for the knockout and can't think. And I'm just a bull that sees red. That's not the kind of fighter I am. If anything, a lot of my knockouts have come from me actually thinking and exploiting their weaknesses and stuff like that. So anyways, long story short, I'm not really worried about if I get a knockout this fight or not. I would love one, but I'm not concerned about losing my knockout streak or anything like that. There's really no bias about that. I would love to fight Spence in the Cowboy Stadium. But I mean, the truth is, I really want to fight everybody. That's just the cold, hard truth. I don't care who wins. I don't care who I fight. I just want to fight.
And become a champion.
Yeah.
No, not really. My closing statement is I do appreciate Golden Boy and Team Ortíz for giving me the opportunity again. They didn't need to, but they did the right thing. Obviously, I prepared once and I turned up to LA, and it was unfortunate circumstances. But I'm just glad I've got the opportunity again, and I'll get to make everyone back home proud, and get to go out there and change my life.
I just want to say thank you for everyone for tuning in. It's been pretty cool. I feel like I'm doing something again. For the past year, I felt like a bum. I felt like I'm not providing for my family. Sometimes I'm not exactly sure how depression feels, but just being stuck in my room, having no sense of reason of being here, that's like one of the hardest things I had to do, and seeing Michael fight, and I'm not the one fighting him, it kind of hurt a little bit. It sucked. I felt like I had no reason being here. I had no purpose. I had no meaning. So I'm very happy to be fighting again this Saturday. And yeah.
No Puedes Jugar Boxeo fue presentado por SEYER, la marca que desde 1930 viste los puños de los campeones, y por Aquino Destinations, destinos de ensueño.